Hello, my name is Chris Hansen, and this is my kidney dissection practical. So I've dissected the kidney like this. First, I'd like to point out the renal capsule. That is all of this on the outside here. The kind of rougher portion that keeps its shape, protects the kidney. So first I'm going to look at the hilus, which should be right here. It's the indentation, the depression where the renal artery and the renal vein and the ureter enter and exit the kidney. So right here, this portion, this is the renal artery and the renal vein. The renal artery should be on top and the renal vein should be on the bottom. And those branch from, well, the renal artery is branch from the abdominal aorta that supplies the kidney with oxygenated blood. And the renal vein is a blood vessel exiting the kidney, carrying filtrated, deoxygenated blood to the inferior vena cava. And then we have the ureter here, which is this kind of more rough tube that connects the kidney to the urinary bladder. All right, so next we're going to find the cortex and the medulla. So the cortex is this outer portion here. And that's the outer region of the kidney. And the renal medulla is the inner portion of the kidney, where you can see it kind of changes color from the cortex to the medulla. So the medulla consists of numerous conical structures that are called renal pyramids. They're a little bit hard to see on this specimen, but they would go from, for example, here, and here, and here, and here. And those are repeating cone-shaped structural unit found in the medulla with its base facing the cortex and the apex facing the hilus. And each pyramid ends with a renal papilla. So the renal papilla is the base of the renal pyramids, and they come into contact with this white portion here, which drains into the ureter. The papilla at the apex of the renal pyramid, continuous with the minor calyx. The minor calyx would be in here, and several minor calyx make up a major calyx, which is what turns, and then the major calyxes combined together go into the uterer. Also look for the renal sinuses. And the renal sinuses are For example, here, each papilla projects into a renal sinus located, uh, I guess it here, and those go into the ureter. I also want to point out renal columns. That is basically the space in between the pyramids. So, like I said, it's a little hard to see on this specimen, but there's the pyramids, and in between the pyramids are the columns. Each column begins in the cortex and extends through the medulla. The columns have a granular texture similar to that of the cortex. So this outside. Like I said, each renal papilla discharges urine into a cup-shaped minor calyx. And those are here, and then those drain also into the ureter. And several minor calyxes form together to make a major calyx, like I said. And then those form the renal pelvis, which would be this white portion, and into the ureter. Thank you.